What an honor it is to be with you guys today. And before we get started, I just want you to think about something, and that is, what did you eat today? And how did you make that decision to eat it? And what do you know about it? What do you know about the food that you put into your mouth? Because it's interesting, an arc that we're going through, that I'm just going to take you back in time to maybe even before some of your parents were born, but certainly before you were born. And that's back in 1956. 57% of all American men were smokers in 1956, and 29,000 of them died from lung cancer that year alone. You hear that now, and it's mind-boggling. In 57 years, we have slashed the smoking rate by 57%. The fix was hard-won and multi-layered. Not only school-based education, reducing minors' access to tobacco, healthcare provider information, warning labels, limiting advertising, even restricting it, especially when it was directed at youth, and establishing indoors as a smoke-free zone. Now, all of that now just seems like common sense. But because of the billions of dollars wielded by the tobacco industry and their effect on the lawmakers and in the marketplace, because everyone was in denial about the effects of smoking, even on their own health, and because the industry continued to insist that nicotine was not addictive. It took us 60 years to put those changes in place. In the meantime, 22 million Americans died from the effects of smoking. We've seen this situation play out time and time again, from controlling drugs and alcohol to seat belts and establishing OSHA. Ultimately, after years of needless injury and death and chronic disease, people come to their senses and fix the problem. And it's time to do just that for obesity. Our weight has spiraled out of control in the last 20 years. It's causing big, big problems. Obesity has now eclipsed smoking as the #1 health hazard in America. Today, over half of all Americans are obese. Think about it, about the same number who used to smoke back in the Mad Men days. And 10% of us have type 2 diabetes. This year, 400,000 Americans will die of disease linked to their obesity. And 1 million feet will be amputated. Sadly, every year the obesity epidemic reaches further and further down the age charts. Today, 23 million American children are already obese. Now, it's not unusual now for a 6-year-old to develop chronic diseases we used to see only in their grandparents. Not just type 2 diabetes, but hypertension, heart disease, liver disease, kidney failure, even cancer. Obesity is not just killing us, though, it's costing us $270 billion in 2011 alone. That's not just health care, but lost time at work, disability payments, and increased insurance premiums for everyone. There are many factors we can point to, from genetics to exercise habits. But researchers insist that the root causes are the changes in the food we eat and the way we eat it. Don't let the junk food PR machine distract you with the noise about exercise. Yeah, it's important, but just one Frappuccino is going to undo that 3-mile run you made this morning. Problem is, eating's not an option. It's not like smoking. We can't stop cold turkey. We got to eat. But the way we eat, that is an option. And common sense solutions are right at our fingertips, the same ones we used on tobacco. I'm just kind of hoping that it doesn't take a lawsuit to bring the industry into compliance and to inspire better corporate behavior. I do know it's going to require our insistence and tenacity to get these things done, and I mean all of us. But do me a favor, please, let's not take 60 years to do it. Let's not waste 22 million lives this time, okay? What's the solution? I see it as a three-legged stool. Regulate, educate, innovate. As we have learned from the tobacco industry, we need regulations at the city, state, and national levels to effect long-lasting systemic change. Will you join me to insist on regulations like mandated nutrition education in schools, elimination of junk food at school, and improved school lunches? How about putting excise taxes on sugar-sweetened beverages and requiring clear nutrition information on menus and on the front of packages? Outlawing junk food advertising to children and making sure everyone has access to fresh, affordable food, healthy food. I decided back in 2005 that my part of this effort would focus on kids and education. That's when we created the Recipe for Success Foundation to change the way children eat. Since then, we have done that with over 20,000 Houston kids. Our Seed to Plate nutrition education program operates in elementary schools where every day we are translating research into action with hands-on classes that connect with real staying power. We fight marketing with marketing. We think kids probably ought to know that food doesn't grow in the drive-through window, doesn't come magically cryopacked, right? Twinkie, not a vegetable. We want them to know how to read labels, how to make good decisions, whether they're at the grocery store, cooking at home, or eating out. Our programs put children in touch with their food from seed to plate, and we make it fun. We invade the schools. We garden, we cook, we create a culture of health throughout the campus in every class. It's working. We start literally planting the seeds with these kids in huge school gardens that we build on campus, and then we help them connect the produce from their gardens to the food on their plate with hands-on monthly cooking classes. We begin with how taste buds work together, and over the course of the year move around the entire food plate with easy-to-make recipes that they'll be making for the rest of their lives with food they've been picked directly from their garden. We don't do ants on a log and happy face pancakes. We make ratatouille and pesto. We don't just teach them how to follow a written recipe, but the very essence of how to make healthy food yummy. We work with their teachers to weave lessons in the garden and the kitchen throughout the rest of their curriculum in math, science, language arts. Our healthy messages touch everything. So the children learn the entire cycle of food. They plant the carrot seed, they harvest the carrot, they cook carrot soup with their class, and then they sit down and enjoy it together. Along the way, they learn teamwork, science, sharing, a little etiquette, plus math, creative writing. By making it fun, we are instilling a lifelong enthusiasm for fresh fruits and vegetables and respect for real food. Children are changing their habits. After just 1 year with us, they are eating 30% more fresh fruits and vegetables, and they're surprising themselves by trying, but even liking vegetables they would never touch before. Plus, they're learning new skills and knowledge, and they're taking that home and infiltrating the family with it. So that's why in 2010, the White House asked us to take our award-winning programs to national scale so that every child in America could have access to our proven results. Now we've launched our Recipe for Success affiliate partner program, literally flinging open the door this year to hundreds of schools across the country. We train and certify their staff as instructors, and then we support them with extensive curriculum resources, expert advice, and dynamic tools in monthly lesson plans, all on this sassy new web portal we've designed just for affiliate partners. Together, we're training the food consumers of tomorrow to look past the marketing hype, to read the label, to make informed decisions, and reclaim the wisdom of their grandmothers, to celebrate their cultural legacy through honest food. So education, check, we've got that. We just need your help to make sure every child has access to it. Now this third part is where we really need you to kick in. Americans are now used to cheap fast food. We can't put Pandora back in the box, send everyone back home to the kitchen to cook every single meal. So we're counting on innovators to design and bring new products to the marketplace. We need healthy food that's tasty, affordable, and convenient. We need a sustainable profit model for the new healthy fast food business. Whether it's from the farm, at the grocery store, or in the drive-through window, healthy products will have to compete in the open market. You know, it's interesting because from the very beginning of time, it was food that drove us from our caves to explore the world. Food fueled trade, pushing people to new realms, new awareness. You could say that food even is responsible for the discovery of America. Now food may be the very thing that's killing us, but I don't think it has to be that way. It's our responsibility as individuals and as a community to take back the dialogue, transform our food system, and reverse this devastating epidemic of obesity. The path is laid out. We each have the power to drive the change in our own way. You can start today, and I hope you do, insisting on regulation and holding every level of our government accountable for designing and implementing policy that works. Educating yourselves, your family, and our community about good nutrition and how to make informed food choices. Creating new products, new restaurants, and new food distribution systems that ensure tasty, healthy, affordable, convenient food for everyone. Regulate, educate, innovate. Together, we can do this. Our very, very lives depend on it. Thank you.